Greetings, Atlanta Technical College, family and friends. I am Dr. Victoria Seals, President of Atlanta Technical College. It is my distinct honor to be joined by one of our college's most distinguished graduates, Mr. Stephen Howard, and his wonderful wife, Charlotte Howard. After graduating from Atlanta Tech in 1973, what was then known as Atlanta Area Technical Institute, Mr. Howard and his wife went on to build an Arizona-based company, the ACT Group, which now serves as a pipeline for our current Atlanta Technical College HVAC students. Beyond Mr. Howard's incredible career, both he and his wife are philanthropists and community leaders who continue to represent the very best that Atlanta Technical College has to offer. This year, they were to be honored at the annual Signature Bridge Builder event, which was canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But we're now here to share them with you and to honor them for all of their contributions to the college and as they continue to help the next generation of HVAC technicians. So let me welcome Mr. and Mrs. Howard. Greetings, Mr. Howard. Greetings, Mrs. Howard.
It's great to see you, Dr. Seals.
Great to be
Awesome.
here.
Thank you guys for joining us today. And Mr. Howard, tell me a little about your career in the armed forces, your road to Atlanta Tech, and your personal experience in the HVAC program here at the college.
Well, I guess like a lot of high school seniors, I didn't want to go to college. So I joined the Air Force. And in basic training, we took a test. Would you rather add a long column of numbers or clean greasy parts? And greasy parts won. And so I went to school to become an aircraft mechanic. And while in Vietnam, I was a crew member on a C-47 flying psychological warfare leaflets, dropping psychological warfare leaflets over the Mekong Delta. And after Vietnam, I got stationed at Dobbins Air Force Base in Marietta, Georgia, where I met my wife, Charlotte, and we got married. And that was the single greatest, most important decision in my life. While I was in the Air Force, at night, I went to Atlanta Tech to study welding and fell in love with the school, fell in love with the training aids, but most of all, fell in love with the instructors. I mean, they really knew what was going on. So after I was discharged from the Air Force, I decided to take the 2-year refrigeration course, refrigeration air conditioning technology course at Atlanta Tech, which was the second most important decision of my life because it gave me the experience that I needed to really change my life after I graduated from Atlanta Tech.
Oh, that's awesome. And I know that a lot of our programs, and HVAC is one of them, really lend themselves to being part of a small business or an entrepreneurship type of opportunity. So, Mr. Howard, did you always see yourself as an entrepreneur, or what was it as you left Atlanta Tech that influenced your career to lead you in that direction of being a business owner?
Before Atlanta Tech and before I met Charlotte, I was going to stay in the Air Force and collect $14,000 for going back to Vietnam, which was a
Wow.
lot of money back then when I was making about $300 a month. So I really didn't have any plans to go into business, but after attending Atlanta Tech and having so many friends in different classes that could see the ability to start a company, it was a natural. I mean, it took us 12 years to do it after graduating, but if I wouldn't have had the Atlanta Tech experience, I probably couldn't have done it.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, in addition to Atlanta Tech, I think, like in most cases, you have an amazing woman at your side. So, Mrs. Howard, tell us a little bit in terms of your role with the company. Obviously, you've played a vital role in the success, but what, from your perspective, have been some of the reasons for the success of your company?
Probably the smartest thing I could have done is just gotten out of Steve's way and just let him work to determine the direction he wanted the company to go. And I believed in him to begin with, and I knew that he was an educator. He's always been an educator, It's just a natural ability that he has had. So I just stepped back, tried to take a look at what he was trying to accomplish, and tried to just assist whenever he needed. So it just was, he had created so many great products of sales tools that I felt that they would definitely be helpful to the community. So when the phones would ring, it gave me the opportunity to ask whoever was on the other end, tell me about your company, what are your needs? And I was able then to apply their needs to what we had available that would assist them in their growth. So it was really a wonderful thing to watch how it helped grow their company. And when the phones would ring again, it would be to say, "Oh, you just can't imagine how this helped, what I have done since I last talked to you, just because I applied these principles." And it was just really rewarding. So it's just there, like the actor who needs the production crew. I tried to be on hand.
That's awesome.
And she is probably the world's best salesperson.
Well, it's a great partnership, and I think
It,
here at
it
the
is, and
college,
that's what's really made our business successful, Dr. Seals, is it is a 50-50 partnership. We own half the stock each, and so at the end of the day, we have to figure out how to do things. And neither one of us is 100% right, but we have somebody to bounce things off of. And if it wasn't, that's what really makes things successful, is having somebody that understands and cares that will argue with you.
Have to pull the reins back once in a while.
right, just every now and then, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, just like your guys' amazing partnership for your family and for your business, you've been amazing partners with us here at the college, and we're very appreciative of that. So as you talk about and the decision to become a major donor for Atlanta Technical College, and as you partner with us, can you speak briefly about the importance of supporting the college and your personal philosophy on giving back?
The thing that the college let me do after graduating was to go. I started making in 1973 $2.50 an hour as an air conditioning helper.
Wow.
A few years later, I was the service manager with 16 technicians for the train commercial agency for the state of Arizona. And then a couple of years after that, I was selling commercial refrigeration, excuse me, commercial air conditioning equipment for Carrier. And I couldn't have done it without learning the basics at Atlanta Tech. And once you know the basics, you can do almost anything, but it's understanding that once you have the basics, you can continue learning and build and build on that. Uh, what we really want to do by the education that I received, Cheryl and I have been able to live the American dream. And
Right.
by applying the things we learned at Atlanta Tech, and we want to pay it back. And one of the things that we want to do is to help young men and women join the HVAC industry, because it is, in our opinion, the greatest industry there is. Today, we need 17,000 HVAC service technicians every year just to cover the people that are retiring and leaving the industry. That's not accounting for the growth. And the growth is, even with the coronavirus, is expected to grow, because people are going to give up a lot of things before they give up their air conditioning.
Especially in Phoenix.
This
And
is
so
true.
the best way that we could give back is to give back to the school to help the people to join this industry so they can live their version of the American dream. The other thing that we wanted to do is we wanted to say thank you to one of my instructors when I was at Atlanta Tech, named Claude LaHaye. Mr. LaHaye, on his own time, taught our class how to prepare for the warm air heating contractors exam. 100 people took the exam. 30 people passed the exam. 14 of the 30 was the class that I was in, and we had a 100% pass rate. How
Wow.
do you think that made us feel? And then after that, I had a piece of paper that said hey, I've accomplished something. And that warm air heating contractor's license was a super resume. And so what Charlotte and I would like to talk to you about in the very, very near future is to provide a scholarship, a full ride scholarship in the name of Claude LaHaye.
That's awesome. That's amazing. And we look forward to that conversation. And just like Mr. LaHaye and a lot of us, it is those instructors who really make the difference. And we're very proud of our current instructors and the way that they are pouring into students, similar to how your instructors poured into you, and similar to how you guys are giving back and pouring into our students and our recent graduates. What advice would you have for our graduates, our current students, and even other alumni like yourself, Mr. Howard, and even Mrs. Howard? What advice would you have for them in terms of giving back and those next steps?
As far as giving back, I think that brings you full circle. I think that without giving back, it's kind of like having a piece of cake without the icing. But then you put the icing on it, and it really tastes much better. So I think it gives you the freedom to express, hey, I've made it, but I want others to make it too. But isn't that what life's all about? Sharing,
Indeed.
sharing it. And that's kind of what I see. But as far as advice to other graduates, um, I think I would just simply say, don't be afraid to alter your course slightly. It's okay. Listen to older people. They have great advice. And then know yourself, love yourself, and give yourself.
Wow.
That's pretty much it's pretty much all the advice I could give because they have everything they need already. They just need to tap into themselves.
That's awesome. And that is great advice. And I think whether it's current students or some of us who are more established, I think that's some good advice that we can continue to keep in the forefront of our minds. Mr. Howard, as we start to round out our comments here, talk to us a little bit about your perspective of what it takes to be a successful businessman.
The first thing is you have to have goals. And success is meeting those goals.
Mhm.
I think the second part is how are you going to grow your company? And that really relies on happy customers telling other happy customers to do business with you. That's the secret. And for 35 years, we want to pinch ourselves. The majority of our business comes from satisfied customers. In fact, when we started doing our training programs, our students loved what we were doing so much that they became our trainers. And that's success when you have a product that other people want to quit what they're doing and and sell for you and do it. That's really a definition of success. A couple things that you've got to keep, everybody keeps in mind is you got to get first thing is be brilliant on the basics. Once you have the basics in place, everything else you've got a foundation to build a house. You can't build like I say in the Bible, you can't build the house on sand.
Right.
And, the second part is never stop learning. And students never out for schools never out for professionals. When when you leave Atlanta Tech, you will have the basics and you will be good at it, but you can continue learning every day if you want to. And that's how you differentiate yourself. And then the third thing I'd say is follow a process. Is there's a lot of proven processes out there, and that's what I learned at Atlanta Tech is troubleshooting process, using tools processes. And one of the biggest things our company does today is to teach contractors how to use proven processes. And it saves a lot of time, it saves a lot of money, and it saves a lot of scars.
Well, that's awesome, and that's some great advice. And congratulations on your ongoing success. And as I've said before, I'm so humbled and appreciative that I've had the opportunity to meet you, to know you, to work with you. And on behalf of our ATC family, we really thank you for your contributions, as well as for the example that you're setting for other great alumni to follow in your footsteps, to to engage in philanthropy and to give back and to help to continue to help our upcoming generations to be able to be successful and to join the industry and continue the amazing legacy that you guys have built as you continue to forge forward. So thank you for your support of Atlanta Technical College. Thank you for your partnership and for your generosity in establishing a scholarship and the ongoing scholarships that we'll be creating on your behalf. So thank you both.
Thank you.
Dr. Seals, thank you, and thank you for the school, and what a great partnership.
Indeed, we're very appreciative. Thank you.
Please.
Stay
Thank
safe.
you. You too.